I worked hard, gave everything I had, and created something incredible. But when the big promotion came around, it wasn't me standing in the spotlight. It was Ethan, the smooth-talking coworker who stole my idea and ran with it. I wasn't always this bitter. There was a time when I believed hard work spoke for itself, but then came the promotion. I'm Matt, 28 male. I'd spent months perfecting a project, a new way to streamline the logistics for our department. It was my brainchild, my late nights, and my skipped weekends. But when the announcement came, it wasn't me standing in the spotlight. It was Ethan. Ethan with his sharp suit and sharper tongue. Ethan who just happened to mention my idea in that big meeting before I had the chance. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. Then I overheard him boasting to someone about how he sold the concept to upper management. Rage doesn't cover it. I felt robbed. Every approving nod from the boss, every congratulatory pat on Ethan's back, felt like a slap to my face. The resentment consumed me. I started fantasizing about revenge. I'm not proud of it, but there were nights I'd lie awake dreaming of ways to bring Ethan down. Maybe I'd expose him in front of everyone. Maybe I'd sabotage his next presentation. But then something happened. One night, as I stayed late in the office, again, I heard muffled voices coming from the break room. Curiosity got the better of me, so I tiptoed closer. It was Ethan on the phone. "I can't do this anymore, Mom," he said, his voice trembling. "The bills, the hospital. I thought this promotion would solve everything, but it's barely enough. And now they want more. I don't know how to keep up." I froze. Hospital? Bills? The Ethan I knew was confident, even cocky, but this was someone different, desperate, cornered. Suddenly, my anger felt misplaced. I thought Ethan had taken from me because he was selfish, but maybe he was just trying to survive. The next morning, I caught him in the hallway. For a moment, I hesitated, but then I said, "Hey, Ethan, do you want to grab coffee sometime? There's something I want to discuss." His eyes widened, as if he thought I was about to accuse him of something, but he nodded. Over that coffee, I didn't confront him about stealing my idea. Instead, I shared some insights I thought might help him in his new role. At first, he seemed suspicious, but then he surprised me. "Thanks," he said quietly. "I didn't think you'd want to help me after, you know." I raised an eyebrow. "After what?" Ethan sighed, looking down at his coffee. "After I took credit for your work. I wasn't proud of it, but I didn't know what else to do. My mom's in the hospital, my little brother's in college, and I'm the only one bringing in money. I thought if I could just get ahead, everything would work out." I sat there stunned. I didn't expect him to admit it, much less apologize. And in that moment, something shifted. Maybe Ethan didn't deserve my idea, but he wasn't the villain I'd painted him to be either. Life had cornered him, just like it had cornered me. I left that coffee shop feeling lighter. I didn't forget what he'd done, but I chose to let go of the grudge. And as strange as it sounds, I think that choice set me free. Sometimes the villains in our stories are just people who made the wrong choice under pressure. And sometimes letting go is the most powerful revenge of all. Update 1. It's been a week since my coffee chat with Ethan. I'm still not sure how I feel. His confession hit me hard, harder than I expected. Part of me wanted to forgive him, but the other part couldn't ignore the reality. He did steal my idea, and I'm still stuck in the same position, while he enjoys the rewards. But I can't let it go entirely, can I? So I've been working on something. I've drafted a proposal for another project, one even better than the last. This time I've learned from my mistakes. Every email is time-stamped, every meeting is documented, and I've ensured there's a clear trail proving the idea is mine. I even dropped a few hints to my boss during a casual conversation. "Just wait until you see what I've been working on," I said, watching his eyes light up with curiosity. Ethan doesn't know about this yet. I've been keeping my distance, letting him settle into his role. He seems more overwhelmed than ever, drowning in deadlines and pressure. Part of me feels sorry for him, but another part knows I need to focus on myself now. This new project is my ticket to proving my worth, to showing everyone that I'm more than just the person who got passed over. This time, I won't let anyone steal my spotlight. Update 2. The presentation went perfectly. My boss was impressed, the team was buzzing, and for the first time in months, I felt proud of myself. But what surprised me the most was Ethan. After the meeting, he pulled me aside. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, his usually confident demeanor replaced with something quieter. "That was amazing," he said, his voice sincere. "You deserve this." I didn't expect those words from him. For a moment, I just stared at him, trying to process what he'd said. "Thanks," I replied cautiously. Then he surprised me again. "I think I owe you more than an apology," he admitted. "I've been thinking about what I did, taking credit for your idea. I'm not proud of it, and I want to make it right." I didn't know what to say. Was this his way of making amends? Or was it just guilt eating at him? Either way, I could see he meant it, so I made a decision. "It's in the past," I told him. "Just don't do it again. To anyone. Ever." He nodded, his expression serious. "I won't. I promise I don't know what the future holds for Ethan, but I know this. I've moved on. My hard work is finally paying off, and for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about what's ahead." As for Ethan, maybe this will be the wake-up call he needs. Or maybe not. That's his journey, not mine. What I've learned is that success isn't about revenge or proving someone wrong. It's about staying true to yourself, no matter what. And now I'm ready to write the next chapter of my story. Final update. The day I was supposed to present another project finally arrived. I walked into the boardroom armed with confidence and a proposal that I knew was bulletproof. My boss and the rest of the team were seated, ready to hear what I had to say. As I sat up, I noticed Ethan slipping into the back of the room. His presence unsettled me, but I reminded myself that this was my moment. The presentation started smoothly. Slide after slide, I could see the interest growing in the room. My boss nodded in approval, and a few of the managers whispered to each other with what I hoped was excitement. Then something unexpected happened. When I reached the end of my presentation, Ethan raised his hand. My heart stopped for a moment, wondering if he was about to undermine me again. Instead, he stood up. "Before we move forward," he began, "I want to acknowledge something. This project is a testament to Matt's dedication and talent. It's clear they've worked tirelessly to develop this idea, and I think we all need to recognize that." The room fell silent. My boss raised an eyebrow, looking between us. Ethan continued, his voice steady but subdued. "I know I haven't always been the best team player. I've made mistakes, ones I deeply regret. But today I want to make it clear. Matt deserves every bit of credit for this work." I didn't know what to say. Ethan's words left me stunned, but also relieved. After the meeting, my boss pulled me aside. "That was impressive," he said, a rare smile on his face. "We'll be moving forward with your proposal, and it's about time we talk about your future here." It was the validation I had been craving for so long. Later, Ethan approached me. He looked almost nervous. "I meant what I said," he told me. "I've been trying to fix things, and I hope this is a start." For a moment, I stared at him, searching for any sign of insincerity. But all I saw was someone trying to make amends. "Thanks," I said finally. "It means a lot." Walking out of the office that day, I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Peace. I didn't get here by tearing someone else down or holding on to bitterness. I got here by choosing integrity over revenge, even when it wasn't easy. Sometimes success is sweeter when you don't have to share it with resentment. This time, it's all mine.